Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor for me to be here. Congratulations for what you're organizing. I think it is something that should be done often in Romania because things are changing and the changes are interfering with the interest of most of the countries. And as long as what is changing, it's important and it is of interest for Romania as well, in the same time with the other countries and especially with our neighbors, it's important to look into these changes from a cooperation perspective. The vulnerabilities, the risks are similar. So if they are similar, why do not work together to alleviate and to fight against these risks? Most of the countries are investing in defense. And it's a good thing that is happening after too many years, probably without increasing the investments. But the danger is not coming only via, or the danger cannot be alleviated only through guns, through planes, through submarines. The danger is coming also from the electronic space. And probably we started to see that if we want to protect our countries, if we want to protect our citizens, it's not enough to buy planes. It's not enough to buy guns. Maybe we have to change our attention toward what is coming from the internet, what is coming from the social networks, what the algorithms are really doing, who controls the algorithms. Because as long as there are consequences which affect population of Romania, we should look deeper into this. We saw what happened with fake news in United Kingdom before Brexit with that Cambridge Analytica issue. We saw a little bit, or we started to see what happened in Romania during the elections from the last year. And we didn't do too much. So from my perspective, more as a software engineer than a politician, it's very clear that things are happening in this aspect. And it's a huge discussion between freedom of speech. You cannot regulate too much because you are limiting the freedom of speech. But in the same time, we cannot just be an observer and to see that something is controlling the algorithms, or maybe somebody is controlling the algorithms. A good news is that from the technical perspective, the illegal content can be identified with a percent of about 90. So 9 from 10 illegal content can be correctly identified by the algorithms. But after the algorithms are tagging the content as being illegal, they are not doing any action because nobody is requesting to do this. And there is a lot of interest in this business for protecting any longer action, mentioning the freedom of speech. But the freedom of speech is associated with a person. The freedom of speech is never associated with a robot. What is happening is that thousands of robots controlled by the artificial intelligence are injecting fake news, illegal content, and they are saying and they are asking for being protected because of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, it's a right, and it's something associated with a human, not with computers. On the other side, from my perspective, in order to fight into this activity, is to highlight what we have and the others don't have. And from my personal point of view, a huge war into this world, it's about who is controlling the artificial intelligence. We saw a lot of discussions about rare earths, about strategic minerals. And in this fight with controlling the artificial intelligence, there is one weak point, and that weak point is the resource. He's not a very intelligent engineer, he's not a very rich international company, it's the resource. And that resource is the graphene, which is extracted from graphite, and we have in Romania. And nobody did nothing with it. We started in the Minister of Economy to put it on the table to see how much it is, how difficult it is to extract, what we can do with this. We started to make such a feasibility study, and the results are very, 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 very interesting. So coming back to the initial proposal of this speech, what we can do in order to protect ourselves, I think there are some bullet points. To collaborate, to see what can be a differentiator between us and the others. It's natural to protect ourselves. What can we do in order to fight from the beginning with small vulnerabilities? What is a small vulnerability today, maybe not very important, can become a global risk for the entire region, maybe in some weeks or maybe in some years. We have now this Rearm Europe project, which is very welcome for Romania especially. You have that mechanism SAFE. I receive a lot of questions about who is going to participate in SAFE and which companies will be elected. The ways of working is that the Minister of Defense communicate to the Minister of Economy which are their priorities, and then from the Minister of Economy perspective, we are trying to see how much as possible can be constructed in Romania. But it is a discrepancy, it is something which is not synchronized, because as long as the Minister of Defense is asking for very high technology weapons, the defense industry in Romania didn't receive any investment in the last 30 years. The good opportunity is that our platforms have specific things that are interested from private companies. Our platforms have bunkers, are having they are connected to high volumes of gases, electricities. So what we are trying to do in the Ministry of Economy is to merge technology which is owned by private companies from other countries with what we can do in Romania. And this will happen in the next 6 months. I think it's a very good option from our economy to receive such amount of money in a very short period of time. But we have to keep the eye on what we can do by collaborating with the others, because coming back, the vulnerabilities are similar, the risks are the same, and the most efficient way to fight against them is to work together, to see them in advance, and to have a clear way for fight against them. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much once again for what you are doing by organizing such type of discussions. And inside of Minister of Economy, if you have great ideas, you are welcome to come, and you are welcome to discuss with us, and maybe from the other's perspective, better ideas can be started. Thank you again.